This video is about Pyotr Tchaikovsky's The Storm. I will explain the most important things about the work and the composer. Pyotr Tchaikovsky was a major Russian composer of the Romantic period who lived from 1840 to 1893. He is known for his large-scale orchestral works, operas, and ballets, which are still performed around the world today. Tchaikovsky had a special talent for orchestration and was a master at using the timbres of different instruments. One example of his artistry in orchestral music is the fantasy, The Storm, which he composed in 1873. Tchaikovsky wrote the Tempest on commission from the Bolshoi Theatre in Moscow. The work was to serve as incidental music for a production of the drama of the same name by Alexander Ostrovsky. Ostrovsky was an important Russian playwright of the 19th century who often addressed the social injustices and conflicts of his time in his plays. The Tempest is about an unhappily married woman who falls in love with another man and eventually commits suicide. Tchaikovsky was very impressed by the original and wrote expressive and dramatic music that underscores the plot and the emotions of the characters. Tchaikovsky's fantasy, The Tempest, consists of an overture and several movements that musically depict the most important scenes and moods of the drama. The overture begins with a dark and threatening mood that announces the approaching storm. As the work progresses, lyrical and dramatic passages alternate, reflecting the feelings and conflicts of the characters. The music for the final scene, in which the protagonist dies, is particularly impressive. Tchaikovsky created a poignant and tragic mood here that touches the listener deeply. A particular feature of Tchaikovsky's music is the use of leitmotifs. These musical themes represent certain characters or ideas and recur throughout the work. In The Tempest, Tchaikovsky uses leitmotifs to characterize the protagonist and her feelings. Another important element is the use of tone colors. Tchaikovsky was a master at combining the various instruments of the orchestra to create a wide range of moods and emotions. In The Storm, for example, he used low strings and brass to illustrate the threatening atmosphere of the approaching storm. The premiere of Tchaikovsky's fantasy, The Storm, took place in 1873 at the Bolshoi Theatre in Moscow. The work was a great success with the audience and critics alike. Tchaikovsky's ability to musically translate the plot and emotions of the drama and to create expressive and moving music was praised. The Storm is still one of Tchaikovsky's most popular orchestral works and is often performed as a concert piece in its own right. It is a prime example of the art of program music and impressively demonstrates how literary works can be translated into music. The Storm occupies an important place in Tchaikovsky's oeuvre. It was one of his first major orchestral works and already showed his mastery of instrumentation and his ability to express emotions and moods musically. The work also marks the beginning of Tchaikovsky's involvement with program music. In the following years, he wrote further works inspired by literary models, such as the fantasy overture Romeo and Juliet or the symphonic poem Francesca da Rimini. The Storm also shows Tchaikovsky's interest in psychological themes and in the depiction of extreme emotions and destinies. Tchaikovsky's fantasy, The Storm, had a great influence on later composers and contributed to the development of program music. With this work, Tchaikovsky showed how literary models can be translated into music and how emotions and moods can be expressed musically. Many composers of the following generations were inspired by Tchaikovsky's music and also created works that were influenced by non-musical content. The Storm also helped to arouse interest in Russian literature and culture abroad and to consolidate Tchaikovsky's reputation as a major composer. Tchaikovsky's fantasy, The Storm, is still part of the standard repertoire of orchestras worldwide. It is often performed as an independent concert piece and has also been recorded on numerous sound carriers. Important conductors such as Yevgeny Mravinsky, Valery Gergiev and Maris Jansons have interpreted the work and emphasized its dramatic effect and tonal beauty. The Tempest is also a popular work for ballet productions and has been staged by various choreographers. Pyotr Tchaikovsky's Fantasy, The Tempest is a masterpiece of program music and orchestral composition. It impressively demonstrates how literary models can be translated into music and how emotions and moods can be expressed musically. With this work, Tchaikovsky created expressive and moving music that reflects the plot and the feelings of the characters in the drama of the same name by Alexander Ostrovsky. The Tempest is captivating due to its masterful instrumentation, its leitmotifs, and its dramatic effect. It is still one of Tchaikovsky's most popular orchestral works and is a firm favorite in the repertoire of orchestras worldwide.